What's going on, traders? Welcome back to day 21 of 25 days of trading. I appreciate you tuning in as always. If you missed the previous 20 videos, make sure you go back and watch those once you're done here. And for the future few uploads we have of this 25 days of Christmas series, make sure you subscribe for 11 a.m. Eastern every day through Christmas morning. I'll be dropping the next day's video. But it doesn't stop there. We're going to be continuing this grind of content in 2025. Lots of value, lots of new tricks and tips, and just really anything you can think of trading coming in the new year. So make sure you're subscribed so you're still around for that great content. But I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. We got a good one today. I just want to walk you through the top indicators I think you need on your charts in order to make money in 2025. Not to be dramatic, I think you need it on your charts to simplify your trading, make it more consistent, and not overwhelm yourself as well. If taking into account too many levels, too many indicators, it doesn't need to be the most complicated indicator with so much data point driven in it. Although that sounds great, simple gets the job done. Effective, consistent, it's easy to understand and digest. You could explain it to anybody. And then once you get the hang of it and practice it more and more, you really find your groove and you can pair it with your trading strategy that, of course, I give you in the Futures 2.0 course on ASFX TV. You'll see some of these VWAPs and some of these indicators obviously implemented because I stand behind them. I think that's what you need on your charts. If you aren't using these, you're just missing out on more information that's probably causing you to lose more trades than you need to. And I've made other videos about it, and you'll see it here in this one. So if we just look at here on TradingView, the top indicator in no order, so I shouldn't say the top indicator. The first indicator is going to be the New York VWAP. We're on the regular trading hours, so the New York VWAP is going to be anchored from the 9:30 New York Open. Let's make that black just for this case on my charts. And then the second one is going to be a high a day or a low a day. We'll pair those together. That second VWAP is going to be a high a day. We're going to turn that purple. Just for this example, let's turn this up until this point. This becomes your high a day. So before we even see any of this, let's just pretend this is the new high. It pulls back. And what I teach in the course is a break of high a day VWAP. Buyers are back in control. We're above the New York VWAP, so buyers are in control there. Stop loss, maybe we go a little bit below the New York VWAP to give it some space. But that's a big fat L. I made some videos about it of using that 15-minute to help you in your advantage. So now let's go over to the left side here and take a look at that 15-minute. Of not even just the big picture of it, but still using the indicators. In this case, the blue one we have on top is yesterday's New York VWAP. So yesterday's 9:30. You just go back. You can see I can anchor it wherever I want. I'm going to go back to yesterday's 9:30. Drop it there. I'll turn that one blue. So keeping in mind the bigger picture, I could just zoom out really quick. Clearly, I'm still potentially looking for longs because we had the bearish trend pullback. Strong bullish day yesterday. We haven't taken out yesterday's low on this day, right? So could be a bullish day if we build a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we're back in that bullish trend. I could definitely see the longs coming in, but just with a little bit more patience, keeping that indicator on your chart of that yesterday's New York view up. Let's go ahead and sync that over to our right side of the screen. You can see on the 1 minute now, that long that you want to take would be smacking right into a resistance of VWAP right there of yesterday's New York. So you're not fully in control on the buy side because yes, you're above New York, but you're still below yesterday's New York. So clearly we're not above everything saying bulls are in control. So with a little bit more patience, you could hopefully avoid that long, as I don't fully blame you that, yeah, nice pop higher, pullback, let's continue higher because we're very bullish. Sellers couldn't hold down here, let's go higher. But keep in mind, where are we on the 15-minute? We're right into a potential support or resistance, in this case resistance. So let's see if buyers can break it. If they break it, great. Now let's use it as support and find a long after, rather than predict it's going to break that. Or in the worst case scenario, you don't even have that view up on, and then you're taking this long down here, and you're going to get smacked and take an L. So with that in mind, we can pop over to the left side one more side on the 15-minute. Being that we're still not above yesterday's high up here, we've actually been making lower highs since the changeover. Asia session, London session, everything. We're clearly rejecting this yesterday's New York. I'm kind of seeing shorts still be in play today. So once we get below the New York view up here on the right side in the 1 minute, I'm kind of leaning short bias today. So although we had, 20 minutes of pop here on the left, it's really still more bearish in control. We're below yesterday's New York. We're now back below today's New York. I'm sure I could throw a lower day view up on here. We break that, and you can actually find the actual in-trend shorts today, intraday shorts would be the in trend, and maybe short it over here after the lower highs clearly underneath all VWAPs, and you're able to catch the trend lower, right? But rather being induced into a couple minutes of longs just because you're above this New York, which is what I do teach. And I do believe in that. If you're going to long it, be above this black New York. If you're going to short it, at least be below it. But pairing it with the other indicators of these VWAPs, you're kind of being pinched right now between two. So let's see what happens. If it could break above, now buyers above New York. Yesterday's New York, maybe a high a day, maybe even all-time high VWAP. Okay, buyers are pretty clearly in control. We're above everything. So maybe I don't need that. Now to take us to another indicator that we're going to use, we can maybe look at a chart here. Let's see if we could find a good day where one more example would be, let's clear these VWAPs off the chart for this example. The electronic daily VWAP. So here on the 15-minute, you can see we're seeing from the changeover of day. Let's anchor there from the changeover and see what that looks like. So if we're going to make that one black as well, this is on Monday the 16th. So let's go over there on our 1 minute as well. Bear with me now. Bear with me now. You can see when we anchor that on the 1 minute here on the right side, you can get rid of this for the short term. Same thing. We break out below today's regular trading hours New York here. So how many people are going to chase this momentum short? Saying, okay, buyers couldn't take the high. We're now breaking for new lows a day. Let's continue making new lows a day. I'm very bearish. Zoomed in on the 1 minute, below 1 VWAP. A key VWAP of the New York, but just not enough. Where if we can keep in mind that daily VWAP, like we were saying, from the changeover, we're still not below that. We've actually been moving higher since the changeover of higher highs, higher lows, very bullish. All this is doing is just retesting that daily VWAP, right? Look how beautiful that retest here, this circle here, this circle here. So it's just really just a pullback, creating a higher low. You actually still want to be looking for in-trend longs. So yes, once you get back above New York, you could look to long it up here. Rather being sucked in on the 1 minute, I made a video about it, being too zoomed in on the 1 minute, but also using these VWAPs to make sure you're above, maybe not everything, but at least be above 2 of your 3 key VWAPs, right? Maybe sometimes you'll be underneath a yesterday's New York, but you'll be above an all-time high and a daily VWAP. So buyers are still more so in control than not. You can still have good probabilities. Now on a different day here, we could go over this literally on every day. This is what I trade on ASFX TV. I preach all the same thing. One other example could be, if we go on the same day we went over on the Thursday, the 12th here, is the ICT midnight open price. We'll just call it the midnight open price. The indicator you're going to put on is simply just a horizontal line. You find the midnight price where we opened up at midnight, so 00 on your trading view chart, and we could zoom it in just to help you guys out a little bit. So if you just zoom in real tight here on the 15-minute, where's our 00 candle? So it's on this red one right here. We opened up on the top of that bearish bar. There's our midnight price. That's where we opened up at midnight. So same thing on the right side here. If we go to the 12th, we got to zoom back a little bit. Bear with me now. Come on now. So here we go. So same thing of not being induced into shorts down here. You actually maybe find longs up to this midnight price because based on this given day of this given size, we opened right here. Our midnight price is right here. So that's a pretty tight window that there's pretty good chances that we go engage that midnight price today on this given day based off the size. Obviously, it always depends on the edge full stat that day. I always read through it on my ASFX TV streams of what the stats are today, what the probabilities, what reports are more favorable today. So you can always tune into that to be up to beat on that. But on this day, we had a clear target for potential engagement of that midnight price. And then notice how we go and get it. But that doesn't necessarily mean we just continue ripping through it because clearly we just went over the long where it smacks at yesterday's New York VWAP right above us. So you can't just say we break midnight price, we keep on going bullish. No, it's saying it probably wants to engage that price. What it does after that, no one knows. Now we just read and react, right? So I think using that midnight price to give you a clear target, and I think it was literally just today, it was a clear target to not reach when it's very, very low probability. So I think the key indicators you need is that daily VWAP, of course, the New York VWAP, and yesterday's New York VWAP, and that midnight price. I mean, there's just so many examples. I just want to show you here on the 15-minute. We'll make it a little bit bigger here. Just even simply throwing on a yesterday's New York. When we had the bearish sentiment back here, throwing on yesterday's 930, so we're back here. On this day, the 930, keeping that bigger picture in mind, I included this in another video, but I think it's just such a strong example. If we just look at it on this day, pretend it's today, this is now currently today's New York. So how on the given day, I'm using the New York VWAP as a key VWAP. Yes. And then obviously tomorrow, don't want to be too confusing. Tomorrow, today's VWAP will be yesterday's VWAP. Everyone follow that? I hope so. I think I said that right. Right? So I just leave that New York on, and now it's a new day. You can see it's still very well respected. That same thing. We're not getting induced into longs. Zoom down on the 1 minute here. Just because we're above the New York, we're still below yesterday's New York. So just having that extra VWAP on gives you an extra layer of protection of saying, okay, I'm not jumping in yet. If buyers can take it out, then I may indeed look for longs above. But as far as I'm concerned, we're still making lower highs, lower lows. I'm still leaning short bias until told otherwise by the buyers stepping in above New York. They never step above it, so we're actually looking for shorts back into trend. So not only just having that New York view up as like a safety guard of, okay, I'm only looking for longs above it, only looking for shorts below it, but what other layers can I add? Because maybe I don't want to short it just yet, because maybe there's support underneath me, right? Because on this day, if you anchored it at the 930, somewhere right here, you are indeed above it. So yes, you would only be looking for longs, but there's clearly that one above you as resistance. So we can't just blindly long it. We have to wait for more information because I can't sell it yet, but I certainly don't want to buy it. So I'm waiting. I'm either waiting to see it pop higher or I'm waiting to see it break below New York, and then I'll sell it, right? It's just a matter of patience. There's not always something to do. Sometimes you'll be pinched in between two VWAPs and we wait and see, right? What's the harm of just waiting an extra 30 minutes to find the high probability trade clearly back to the downside? So I think just adding these VWAPs is very, very key in 2025. And I know maybe, sorry, but maybe that yesterday's New York VWAP tangent was a little bit confusing. Today, yesterday, tomorrow, all that different shit. But like I said, I always try to do my best of explaining these VWAPs on stream, and you'll always see me mark them up, why I'm using it today, why I'm not using it today, how I'm using it, and as well as if you ever need more clarification or any questions on this VWAP, this indicator, always feel free to reach out. If you do use Edgeful, obviously I could throw one in the mix right now of another indicator to keep an eye out for in 2025 is the opening range high. Again, you could draw that manually. It's going to be the first 15 minutes of the day. So let's just go fast forward to today's price action. You can see how well it was respected today. Of the first 15 minutes of the opening range is right here, these horizontal lines, how it respects it nicely here for a retest, and even again later on in the afternoon with clear bearish sentiment of lower highs. So ride the trend. Just because you're above New York view up here for the short term doesn't mean you're buying it. Keep other things in mind than just simply we're above it. There's other factors into decision making. You should actually be probably looking for shorts once you get back below, because that's the trend. That's what it looks like on the 15-minute. And then you could save yourself some pain of silly longs or silly shorts depending on the day. And then my, oh my, this was the FOMC yesterday. Ugly. But same thing. Let's just do one example real quick here. Putting on a daily view up across the line here, the black, you can see we're not below it until 12:30 over here and the 2:30 over here. So pretty much where I have these circled is our daily view. So you are back below both today's New York and today's daily. So keep that in mind. Like I said, if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. I always appreciate you guys tuning into the streams, to these YouTube videos. Always feel free to ask questions. We got a few more great videos to finish off this series. And like I said, we'll be keeping it going in 2025. So if I don't see you in the next video, have a great Christmas, great holiday. I'll see you guys on the desk in the new year. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the desk tomorrow morning for tomorrow's upload. Thank you.